Welcome into Picks and Parlays Power Hour. I'm your host, Hannah Mears. You can follow me on Twitter at Han Mears for all of my content. Also, look for me on YouTube. I do a Mearsy Minute daily giving you my free picks. But today, we're going to talk some college football. I'm going to be bringing in our main man, Craig Trapp, to be talking Wisconsin and Ohio State. Hello, Craig. How are you?
Excited. I think this is one of those, finally, we're going to see what Ohio State is in this matchup. I mean, you never know because they really haven't played anybody. We thought Notre Dame was somewhat good, and then, of course, Notre Dame's struggled since.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games where it's gonna make or break your season here. These are the defining moments coming into these weeks where you get some breaks in the first couple weeks. You play the teams that maybe don't even pan out, like we're talking about Notre Dame. So will Ohio State be the team to beat? We will find out. But also something that I want to mention to everybody is that they can text Free Day VIP their full name to 775-403-5400. Craig, tell them why.
Well, I have a VIP text plays for anybody that's purchasing my subscription. So I want to show you what that gets. That's all kinds of prop plays, in-game plays for football, 7-1 after week 2 of NFL, week 3 of college football. So been red hot. So all you got to do is text that. It's free, and you can see what you get. And then if you want to purchase, of course you can.
All right, subtle brag, but let's see if you can keep it up. Wisconsin at Ohio State. So we've got minus 18.5 total. It's set at 57. Ohio State, 47.6 points per game so far, but Wisconsin, 39.3. Both of these offenses have been pretty good defensively as well. This is going to be the test. Like you said, Wisconsin usually comes out playing hard too. So Ohio State's really gonna have to show what they're made of. But what is your best bet for this game?
Well, first of all, before we talk about where I'm going in this game, you have to look at this game as kind of an elimination game, especially for Wisconsin. They've already stubbed their toe once. So if they lose, they're out of, you still could go to the Rose Bowl. You could still probably end up at a nice bowl, but you're not playing for the national championship game, which is, these type of teams. That's what you're looking for. Ohio State, on the other hand, I think they probably could lose and still maybe, especially if they, run the table and beat Michigan, and Michigan would be undefeated at that point. But I think there's, your Penn State team's also out there for Ohio State. So I think, if you're Ohio State, you probably need to win this game. 18.5 sounds like a little too many, in my opinion. This is still an Ohio State team that is unproven on defense. I mean, everybody's like, oh, their defense is much improved. Well, they played Notre Dame. Notre Dame struggled on offense all year long. So, yeah, they held them to 10. Arkansas State outmanned at 12. They still allowed 21 points to Toledo. To me, I just think this is a prove-it week. Can they stand up? Because remember, Michigan ran it right down their throat last year. Can they, man up and stop this good Wisconsin running game? So to me, that's where this game's going to be won. We know what Ohio State's offense is going to do. Can Wisconsin run the ball against Ohio State? That's where this comes down. And to me, I think Wisconsin will be able to. So I think you have to take the under 57. I think you have to take Wisconsin and the points. Stronger play is on the under 57 here. I just think Wisconsin will be able to control the clock and keep it away. That's how you have to beat Ohio State. Michigan's kind of laid out how you beat Ohio State. You play in the trenches, you beat them in the trenches, control the clock, and you wear them down. And I think that's what Wisconsin does this week. I think Ohio State does win, but I'm thinking it's more like 27-20 type game. And I think it's an easy under win here.
I also like that you said the under, because when you have two teams who know each other a little bit and test each other at this point in the season, Ohio State's offense really hasn't been tested, so to speak.
Yep.
When they come in and are tested, they're going to have to figure some things out. The things that they have been doing aren't going to work right away. Believe that. And so there's going to have to be a little bit of a process, unless they really are this ginormous offensive team that we've seen so far. But I like that. So, okay, we're going to go under 57 with that. Make sure if you want more of our picks, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time on Picks and Parlays Power Hour. All right, Craig, next we have some NFL. The red hot Detroit Lions. Never thought I'd be saying that. Not this season, but hey, Hard Knocks fever, bring it on. The Lions are living up to the hype. They are taking on the Vikings with a deadly Justin Jefferson. Watch out for him. Vikings favored in this one at -6, total at 53.5. But the Lions actually beat the Vikings last year in week 13. So let's not just count out the Lions and the way they've looked so far this season. I don't know. I think that, they really could be legit in a sense, or at least a competitor. But before we get into what Craig thinks, he has this new little thing you can do by going free day VIP. Text your full name to 775-403-5400. Craig, tell him why.
Well, I give out free daily text plays to my subscribers. So this just is a chance to get in on that. It's usually first half in-game plays, prop plays, stuff that I don't, it's over and above like sides and totals. And 7-1 so far on the year, my in-game plays in football. So make sure you get in on that. I'll put you in at least one day, maybe even two this weekend. We'll see how we do.
All right. I like that. But what I want to know more about is what you think is going to happen in this matchup, because I know so many eyes are going to be on this game to really see if the Detroit Lions are legitimate contenders. This is going to be sort of their defining moment as to who they can be this season.
Well, they say teams are built to win your division, and the Vikings better hope so. Because after you beat Green Bay, you open the year amazing. Then you go on the road to Philly, and Kirk Cousins, I think he had 3 interceptions in the red zone in the second half. His primetime struggles, I think he has either 1 or 0 wins primetime. So obviously this isn't a primetime game, so maybe it's and he's at home. And they're playing in the division, so maybe they're built to win the division. I think that first game had a lot of people saying, okay, this Minnesota's for real. Kirk Cousins, Jefferson. I love Jefferson. Don't get me wrong. I think they have a good offense. I just think I just don't trust Kirk Cousins here. And I think he's more likely to throw the ball to the other team and we saw it last on Monday Night Football. In a short week, I think the Detroit Lions have something for him as far as the spread. But my better play, Hannah, is there any better offense in the league than this Detroit Lions offense right now? I mean, they are.
Did you ever think that you would say, is there any other better offense in the league?
Detroit Lenny, I mean, he's doing backflips. He's doing, I think he does a shot for every time they score a touchdown. Well, let me tell you, you're getting drunk watching Detroit this year because this team is
Detroit Lenny's definitely hammered. He still might be hungover. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Midweek when we're filming this, he's still hungover from last week. And this Detroit offense can score. Now, first game on the road here, so that's going to be can they keep it rolling on the road in a very tough place in the Dome in Minnesota? I think this is an over game. I just think Detroit, they know their defense isn't great. So Minnesota's going to get their fair share of points. Detroit's only chance is to outscore them. And right now, I mean, they were this close to beating Philly the first week, the Detroit Lions. So I think
a good Philadelphia Eagles team this year.
Very good. I mean, one of the 2-0 teams. And I think this Detroit team has something for them. I think they could pull off the upset, but I think the much stronger play, you take the over here. I just don't see a whole lot of stops here. This is a Detroit team that until they prove they can stop somebody or someone can stop them, I think you just almost auto play on the over here. So let's take the over 53.5 in a short week. I think the Minnesota Vikings defense will struggle again. And I think this one goes well over the total.
Who doesn't want to ride with the Lions? Come on, man. They're such an underdog story. And you really do have to love Dan Campbell and what he's bringing in so far. They've been walking the walk, not just talking the talk this year. So I like it. Over 53.5. Thank you, Craig. Make sure if you want more of our picks, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Good luck with all of your picks, Craig.
Thanks.
You are watching Picks and Parlays Power Hour. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern every single week. So join us. I'm Hannah Mears. I'm your host. You can follow me on Twitter @HannMears. And it's time to bring in a brand new handicapper for picks and parlays. But make no mistake, we hire him because he's good at what he does. So Terry, welcome. How are you enjoying your picks and parlays experience?
Hi, thanks for having me. And hey, it's very new. It's a very new thing, but I'm super excited to be joining the team. And super excited about these games, especially the NFL game. That's actually one I really like, so I'm glad that I get to talk about it.
All right. Well, before we get to NFL, let's not jump the gun. We've got to start with college football, something that's going to be happening sooner. We have Kansas State and Oklahoma. Oklahoma, the favorite at -13 in this one. The total 53. I'm not sure what you're thinking, but I know a lot of the money for all of the bets is in favor at Oklahoma at the moment, and rightfully so. And I don't know. I was kind of liking Oklahoma at -13, -13.5 I saw too. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, Oklahoma, seems to be the better team than Kansas State. Obviously, that's why they're favored by 13. But being at home and only being 13, not being like 14 and a half or something bigger than that, I like them at home here. They've covered that spread in all 3 games so far, undefeated, and have looked really well, really good all 3 games. Kansas State started off really well in their first 2, lost 17-10 last week, and I just don't think this is a good spot for them against a superior team. So I'm going Oklahoma minus 13.
Yeah, especially on the road, and then a 17-10. Yikes. So with a team that's been so hot against the spread, they're going to be at home. This is one of the teams that they're going to want to kind of pound into the ground to prove what they can be doing moving forward. One of those, I guess, tone setters for the rest of their season. So I like that pick, minus 13. If you like Terry and our picks, make sure you say hi to him. He's new here, but he'll be around. So like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Picks and Parlays Power Hour is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, Terry, I know one thing you want to talk about. UVA Syracuse. If you don't, I do. Syracuse has proven to me that they are a legitimate team. Yes, they won in some exciting fashion last week, but man, the Oranges have come to play this season. They're looking to be a team to be 3-0 for the first time since 2018. Are you riding with the Qs at minus 10.5, taking them on the total, on the money line? I think the money line's a bit escalated actually in this one. I don't know if I'd be riding on that, too broke for that. But tell me what you think, Terry.
Yeah, I backed Syracuse last week and was really happy that they got the job done. That was a very exciting game. 10.5 points here. The line seems to be moving a little bit towards Virginia. So that's something to keep an eye on. But I like Syracuse at home. If it goes anywhere below 10, if it's anywhere below 10, I really like it. I still like it at 10.5. I think they win this game something like 13 by 13 points.
Yeah, I also think I've seen the line at 9.5. I think it's been shifting a little bit here and there. So definitely keep your eye on all of these lines because they've been moving. And this week, you might expect that because of the way results have been and teams, have been back and forth at this point. So I do like Syracuse though, man. And I bet against them last week. And so I think I got to, put my foot down and say, all right, Qs, do what you need to do. You proved me wrong, and I've got to ride with them for a little bit. So I like that. The Syracuse Oranges, watch out for them this season. They are out for blood, and they are home against Virginia. Thank you so much, Terry, for that pick. I appreciate it. If you want more of his college football picks, like, subscribe, follow along, ring the bell for notifications. We are live. Picks and Parlays Power Hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Terry, I know you're excited to talk some NFL, Jaguars and Chargers. Now, the Jaguars are proven to be a better coached team this year. So, a team that last year maybe we looked at and said, don't pick anything in their favor. They're going to get smashed. But this year there is better coaching, let's say. And the Chargers maybe without Justin Herbert, which is why I think we're seeing this line change. I saw it sitting at minus 10 at some points, and now it's moved to minus 7. If Herbert plays, I think this game goes in favor of the Chargers. But if he doesn't, could be closer. But what do you like?
Well, I had the Chargers plus 4.5 last week. So I watched that game and he put his body on the line.
I did too.
Anybody,
we were both happy last week.
Anybody that was backing the Chargers plus 4.5 last week should have been really happy because he put his body on the line. And that one, I also was on Jaguars. They have a good history against Indianapolis. They don't have much of a history against the Chargers here, but I think even if Herbert does play, I don't think he's going to be 100% in this game. This is actually the biggest spread of the week, which is a minus 7, which is kind of surprising. But I have to go with the Jaguars plus the points. They're a sneaky team. I've laughed at the Jaguars. Lots of people laughed at the Jaguars throughout their history. But I don't know. Something in my gut's telling me this team's going to be sneaky this year. They handled the Colts last week. I don't think they're going to handle the Chargers. I think it'll be a close game. If Herbert doesn't play, Jaguars money line could be a look. I'll be looking at their kicker props as well. But plus 7 is the safest way to go in this game. I think we're going to have a close game in this one.
I think so too. And like you said, they are sneaky. And if Herbert doesn't play, I think this is best case scenario for the Jaguars. This is a hand you an opportunity week 3 of the NFL, like that you would not expect. If Herbert was playing, I'd say forget about it, because we saw the dog mentality that Justin Herbert has. I mean, he's insane. And that rib injury is no joke at all. I mean, I've seen wrestlers with it. My boyfriend had one years ago, and he said, he's like, I can't believe he's doing this. That is one of the most painful things for someone to go through. So Justin Herbert, you have all the credit in the world, but the Jaguars, to cover the spread in this one's looking kind of promising, especially if he doesn't play. So I like that pick as well. Terry, it's been your first time on Picks and Parlays. We've been so thankful and happy to see your new face and have you here. He will be here every week now, though, so get used to seeing him around. Thank you so much for your picks.
Thanks so much for having me.
Remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Picks and Parlays Power Hour is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Hannah Mears, on Picks and Parlays Power Hour. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. There you go. You can follow me on Twitter at Han Mears. It's time to bring in our next guest to talk more football. Of course, we've got football heavy fall, and we love it. And someone else that loves it is Dan the Man. What's up, Dan?
I'm just happy I made it. It seems like every day this week's been a Monday. So,
all right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Let's have a Wednesday, not a Monday. I'm here for it. We've got Hump Day, and we've also got Boise State at UTEP. Now, UTEP is 0-4 against the spread so far this season, and they have a struggling offense. But will they change things around? What do you think?
I'm not expecting them to. As you're saying, Boise State's 2-1 this season. They're on a nice 2-game winning streak. Their offense is dealing with some injuries. One of their offensive linemen and their tight end are questionable, and they've lost a wide receiver already to the season. But it doesn't really matter with Boise State as long as George Halani, the running back, can stay healthy. It just seems like as he goes, the team goes. He leads the team in both rushing and receiving, and their defense has stepped up. They're giving up 18.3 points a game, but over their 2-game winning streak, they've held teams at 10.5 points. Mm-hmm. As you said, UTEP, they just can't score. They're averaging 14 points a game, and the highest they've scored is 20. And their biggest thing is turnovers. They've scored 5 touchdowns this season, had 11 turnovers, 7 of them the last game alone. And their defense can't stop anybody. They're giving up 29 points a game, and teams are just rushing all over them. They're giving up almost 200 yards a game on the ground, which sets up perfectly nice for Boise State and Halani. Yeah, as you said, the Miners are 8-17 against the spread. Their last 25 home games. The Broncos are 9-3-2 in the last 14 games against a team with a losing record. I just think this is Boise State's game to name the score. A lot better offense, a better defense. The line's 15.5. I don't think it's going to matter. I think Boise State wins this one by 20.
They should. If they don't, we've got an issue here. But I think that's probably the better bet. Yeah, UTEP hasn't been looking so hot this season. This is Boise State's game to lose for sure. So Dan's pick, Boise State, minus 15.5. Thank you, Dan. If you want more of his picks, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single second of our Power Hour. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, Dan, we've got some NFL, and I'm really excited for this one. Ravens are favored at -3 against the Patriots, total sitting at 43.5. I also like, if you look at the money line in this one, I think they're pretty reasonable. But some things to think about: Baltimore 1-7 straight up in the last 8 games, and Patriots not great as the dogs most of the time. But do you like what Lamar Jackson has been doing, or do you think Bill Belichick and Mac Jones have it figured out? What are you thinking? What's going to happen?
Well, I like what Lamar Jackson's doing. I got him on both my fantasy teams as my quarterback. So,
well, then you really like what Lamar.
I gotta like that. But their defense is suspect. I mean, Tua got 6 touchdowns against them. I'm not sure Mac Jones is going to be able to do that. The difference between the Dolphins have wide receivers that can do things, and the Patriots don't. And to be honest, I'm with this game right now. I'm looking for a side for my premium pick, but so for this one, I'm going to take the over just because I'm not sold on the Ravens defense. And even Matt Patricia, the rocket scientist that he is, and he actually is one, I think he can come up with something to be able to score some points in this one. I think the Ravens will get theirs. I just need a few points. I need a couple of touchdowns from the Patriots. I think as bad as Matt Patricia has been with the Patriots, the Lions, I think he can dial up a couple of touchdowns here. I think this over-under is a little low at 43.5. So I'm definitely taking the over.
Yeah, especially for what Baltimore has been doing. And I feel like Lamar Jackson is just counted out so much for what he's able to do, especially with his feet. So that being said, I actually think that's pretty reasonable. And Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, come on, man. They've got to start figuring it out at some point. Maybe this will be the game. I don't want to base their season off of what they did against the Steelers team, who looked pretty terrible, might I say, last week. So there is Dan's pick. If you want more of his picks, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live on this Power Hour Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Dan, good luck, and thanks for joining me. All right, next on Picks and Parlays Power Hour, I'm bringing in one of our twins. We've got Nick. He is here to talk some NCAA rapid fire football. We've got about 5 minutes, and I need to know what you're thinking. You're decked out in Mets gear over here. Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Something. Can't even tell. Let's go right into your college football, though. We've only got about 5 minutes, Lenny said. But before that, tell everybody about this week pass they can do by heading over to picksandparlays.net/ESB.
Yeah, that link will bring you over to the Picks and Parlays website, and then you can get a week pass for $99. I think usually it's like $179.
All right. It's an Earl's Brothers special to get all of their VIP picks. So, Nick, starting off rapid fire, what do we have? TCU and SMU. TCU favorite at -2. The total at 70.5. My Lord. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, and I'm looking at the total in this game. I do lean towards TCU money line, something along those lines. I think that they win this game. But when we look at SMU, these totals are not new for them. 67 in week 1 against North Texas. 66 in week 2 against Lamar, and 74 last week against Maryland, their totals. The thing is they haven't even sniffed an over yet. This is a team that their totals keep getting bet up and up and up. And their last week's game, I believe, was their highest scoring game at 61 points. So they haven't even come close to it there. On the other side, TCU, the only time they've gone over this total was a 59-17 win, but that was against the Texans of Tarleton State. If you don't know who they are, they're an FCS school. That is why. Maybe you know them for college basketball, one of the lower conference teams, not for football, though. The other game they played went under the total of 59.5 with them in Colorado. I'm going to say the under 70.5 is where I'm going in this game. And probably wait a little bit in the week. You'll probably get 72, 73 come kickoff.
All right, and you'd still like the under on that, apparently.
Absolutely, yeah.
Next game we've got here, Notre Dame at North Carolina. The total set at 56. Notre Dame favorite at -1, a Notre Dame team that has been struggling. So tell me what you like in this.
Yeah, this was one of the first games that jumped off the page to me here for my discrepancy between my power rankings and the actual line itself. Give me Notre Dame all day long here. I had this game more like a 7.5. Rather than a pick 'em. Absolutely. I know Notre Dame has not looked good so far this year. They start off with Ohio State, obviously the shocking upset against Marshall. And then last week they finally got their first win against Cal. But here's the thing. I think this is probably one of the worst defenses they're going to be going up against here in North Carolina, which gave up 24 points to FAMU to start the year. They gave up 61 to App State. So this is a team that Notre Dame is going to be able to score points against. And I also do lean towards the over 56 in this game. I think Notre Dame has the better defense in this one. So I think that them just asking them to win the game straight up, I think they beat North Carolina in this spot. So I like the money line here for Notre Dame.
All right. Hopefully the Fighting Irish can figure it out. And I wouldn't take some things into consideration in their past games. Statistically, we can get into that another day. But he likes them on the money line. Middle Tennessee at Miami. Miami sitting at -26.5 is the favorite. The total at 52.5. Please tell me you're not taking Middle Tennessee on the money line in this.
I'm not taking the money line at this moment, but I am taking the points in this game. 26.5. One thing I've noticed a little bit this year is teams out of conference teams when they play SEC schools, which Miami played A&M last week. They generally struggle to cover the next week, and we noticed that with App State, We've noticed with a couple other teams that usually when you play the SEC, your next game is you come out a little flat, or I don't know what it is, but Middle Tennessee is a team I've been on a little bit here. I didn't have them last week. Obviously, they played Tennessee State, another FCS school, but the week prior, I had them plus 13.5, and I had them on the money line at like $3, and they won straight up against Colorado State. I like this Blue Raiders team. I think that they're going to be able to cover the spread here against Miami, who's missing a couple of their offensive pieces. So I think that points may be a little bit of a premium in this game. Lean probably under in this game, but I like the points here at Middle Tennessee.
That's also a lot of points. So if you're missing a couple key pieces on offense, I mean, it's to get things not most likely your offense will be clicking, especially early. So yeah, I think then they could be a little worried playing more conservative if it's too close. So all right, plus 26.5. Let's ride with Middle Tennessee on that one. What's our next game? We've got Wisconsin at Ohio State. Now, I talked with Craig about this one earlier, but I think you have a little bit of a different perspective. We talked about Ohio State really needing to make sure that this is their statement game this season to show everybody that we're legit contenders. Don't count us out. Ohio State obviously favored minus 18.5 because of what their offense has looked like. The total at 57. But I'm curious, Nick, tell me your perspective on this game.
Yeah, generally I like to make my own lines with my power rankings, and I reference that with a couple of previous games. And this is one I had at 12.5. So getting above that 14 and even 17 number, I'm all over Wisconsin in this spot. And Wisconsin money line at a small sprinkle is something I'm going to have on my card this weekend. All of probably a fifth of a unit, nothing crazy. I also do lean towards the under in this game. Yeah, just a small sprinkle. I'm not saying Wisconsin's going to win this game outright, but I do think they have a good enough offense to be able to potentially run the ball a little bit against Ohio State, try to shorten the game, limit the possessions, and I think that's going to make it more difficult for Ohio State to cover 18.5. So I'm going to take Wisconsin here, and I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Wisconsin wins this game outright.
Especially because, like Craig was saying, we talked about it, the Ohio State defense is what needs to be proven in this one. And to play a school like Wisconsin, who you know is going to come out, play hard, they play tough, they know how to play you. They've seen the schools that you've played against, vice versa, a lot of similarities in that way. So I like the points in that one as well. All right, what do we got next? Navy at ECU. Oh, Lord, tell me where you're going with this one. Nick, an ECU fan. Favorite at minus 17, the total at 49.5. But what really stands out to you in this game?
Yeah, I will be in attendance in this game, and I needed to put some type of East Carolina. I couldn't do this last week for the Power because they played Campbell, but now that they are actually playing a real team, I can actually put them in here. I'm on the under in this game, and I've bet this every single game so far for ECU. I believe they're going to be a heavy under team this year. I like their
every time.
It is. My bad. I bet it the first 2 weeks. I didn't bet it against Campbell because that game came out late, and it barely creeped over last game against Old Dominion. But East Carolina only gave up 21 points. They did cover the 13-point spread, and their defense held them to only 21 points. They held NC State to 21 points, including shutting them out in the second half. I like the under in this game. I like the running game that East Carolina has with Mitchell and with Harris, and this defense I think is elite. Maybe one of the top in the AAC, and probably I want to say top 30 in the nation potentially for defense. So I like this game going under. I don't see Navy putting up more than 13 points in this game.
All right. Well, I hope while you're sitting at that game, you're happy as well with that under. So under 49.5. If you like what he's got going on, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of our Power Hour taking place Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, Nick, I want to talk NFL. Cowboys at Giants. This is a game on Monday Night Football that typically, if this was being played, let's say last year, everyone would be like, why do we even want to tune in to this game? Because of how these two teams have performed. This year, everybody wants to see how the Giants are doing, and everybody wants to see if the Cowboys are going to Cowboy. The Giants are 2-0 right now, and they are favored at minus 2.5, total 39.5, most likely because, Dak's not there and the Giants not typically a high-scoring team. The Cowboys still have a lot to prove. So tell me what you like about this Monday Night Football matchup after you tell us about this weekly pass that's only $99 for your premium picks on picksandparlays.net/ESP.
Yeah, just use that link, and then you can head over to the site and then get the week pass for $99. It's usually, I believe, around $179. So.
All right, you can get all of his premium picks by doing that. So make sure you head over to that. But tell me what you like, Cowboys and Giants Monday Night Football.
Yeah, there's been a trend that I've been following so far this year that I am 6-1 so far doing it, and the only one I missed was by a hook.
Okay.
Prime time unders. Usually these numbers are juiced a little bit towards the over. So usually these standalone games, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, the public's going to come in and bet the over. The books know that, so they bump up the total a couple points. I think if this was a Sunday afternoon game at 1 o'clock, this is a 38, maybe a 38.5. So I think you're getting a 1.5 of value here on this side or on this total. I like the under. I'm not gonna fix what ain't broke. I'm gonna keep riding my primetime unders here under 39.5. I am a Giants fan, so I'm hoping the Giants do win this game outright. I would love to see the Giants beat the Cowboys, especially with Cooper Rush. I think that one thing we see with backup quarterbacks is they're good for one game and then not the next. So I think that this could be a game that the Giants do win. I don't really know how to power rank this game because I really need to adjust my numbers for having Cooper Rush and not Dak Prescott, because that is a pretty significant difference.
Yes.
We saw last week that it was a little over adjusted because I think the line moved 9 points or whatever. I think about 6 of that was because Dak was gone. But yeah, I do like the under 39.5 in this game. I see a lower scoring game on another primetime under.
Yeah, I also think that this one on the under, just because I don't think either of these teams have really offensively proven themselves. Yes, we're like hot on the Giants right now and happy for them, but how long are they going to sustain that success? And also a Cowboys defense with Micah Parsons, Saquon Barkley, look out, 2 former Penn Staters together, but Micah Parsons is able to put pressure on a quarterback. There is 100% no doubt about that. Maybe if there's a prop bet out there about Micah Parsons, take that. So that being said, I don't think the under's bad at all, especially with your insight there on the primetime games as well. If you like what Nick's got going on, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live on Power Hour Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and you don't want to miss a single second. Nick, thank you for your picks and good luck.
You as well.